Man, you never know what you're going to wake up to in the morning in the news cycle anymore, do you? You read the headline and you see that Elon Musk has now dropped his aspirations for a third political party. He's done with it. He's gone an entirely different direction, behind closed doors, secretly hatching a plot to replace President Trump. But the twist is even more shocking. If you haven't heard this story, you're about to learn all the details of it in just 1 minute. So much to cover, so little time. Hold in there with me because there was a lot of developments yesterday. We get to take a minor breath from the Russia-Ukraine saga for just a minute because some other news actually happened. You know what you're looking at on your screen? It's going to put a big smile on your face because on the very top line it says, Senator Schiff Legal Defense Fund. Senator Schiff. Shifty Schiff himself has to start a legal defense fund. I know. Enjoy it for the moment because someone now realizes that karma's come around and he's in a whole world of trouble. So the legal defense fund begins. Even though he's upset about the investigations, he realizes that the odds are not in his favor anymore. You see, when you start leaking information against President Trump and it comes out because all these documents are now being declassified, you get yourself in a world of hurt, don't you? On top of that, when other documents come out and there's some claims made about mortgage property that could get you in other legal hot water, suddenly you create a legal defense fund, which says no matter how upset you are, you realize you're in a little bit of trouble now, don't you? You see, karma always comes back around to bite you in the ass eventually, doesn't it, Shifty Schiff? And you're not going to have a whole lot of friends after the years of torture you put President Trump through. What goes around comes around, and it just did for 37 other individuals yesterday, didn't it? Did you hear what Tulsi Gabbard did? I hope you did. All these folks here. Revocation of security clearances unclassified by Tulsi Gabbard. That's a lot of names on that list, isn't it? Well, it appears that they were all involved, according to Tulsi Gabbard. Being entrusted with a security clearance is a privilege, not a right. Those in the intelligence community who betrayed their oath to the Constitution and put their own interest ahead of the interest of the American people have broken the sacred trust they promised to uphold. In doing so, they undermined our national security, the safety and security of the American people, and the foundational principles of our democratic republic. That is why, at the President of the United States' direction, I directed the revocation of the security clearances of 37 current and former intelligence professionals who have abused the public trust by politicizing and manipulating intelligence. Ouch! It appears that machine, the Beltway bandits, boy, their numbers keep getting smaller, don't they? And the smaller they get, the more information that continues to come out, doesn't it? Because there's folks out there that have information and intelligence on, well, these people. And the safer they feel, the more secure they feel, the more information will continue to come out. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Before I move forward even deeper into this broadcast, got to ask you a huge favor. I want you and continue to always make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new here, welcome home. The numbers have accelerated rapidly, and that is thanks to each and every one of you for showing the algorithm who's boss. It's making sure the algorithm knows that this is the news and the style and the format that you like, and I thank each and every one of you for that. Thank you for joining as members. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. That's how we keep the lights and cameras on. And one other way we keep the lights and cameras on is through our sponsors. One of our longest standing sponsors is Noble Gold. Have you been to JustusKnightGold.com? You see it right there on the bottom. Because if you're nearing retirement or just planning ahead, you've probably saved wisely. But how much of that's just sitting in cash? Cash might feel safe, but inflation eats away its value. That's why more people are turning to real assets like physical gold and silver to help protect their savings. Noble Gold Investments makes it simple. Gold or silver, coins or bars shipped to your door or stored securely. They're trusted for transparency, no pressure guidance, and real option. That's why we've been with them for years. So click in the description box below for more details, or visit JustusKnightGold.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. Remember, there's always a risk to investing, No guarantees. But when you own real assets, you own real wealth. And that's why I need you to go to JustusKnightGold.com right now. But now let's get back to this broadcast.
Those folks and those 37 individuals that we revoked, directed the revocation of security clearances from today by under the direction of President Trump, they aided and abetted in this action, this seditious conspiracy that undermined our democracy, undermined our republic, and broke that sacred trust that every one of these professionals is supposed to have from the American people.
Breaking sacred trust. Well, that seems to be something that happened a lot, didn't it? As a matter of fact, breaking sacred trust appears to be something that happened continually under the Biden administration, in so much so that Biden's own Department of Justice warned against Biden's own commutations. New information coming out on this also. Still not to the headline story. This just over the last 24 hours. Did you see this? That was just released. His Department of Justice coming out stating that his commutations were highly problematic. And in order to resolve its meaning appropriately and consistently, we kind of need a statement from the president here, because these statements and the warrant language, well, this isn't quite normal. And they're not really clear. Given meaning to the language for the offenses described the Department of Justice, we need a little clearer direction from the president. That's not a good thing, folks. With the people he was commuting sentences on. It goes further. Oversight project. Biden's own DOJ threw red flag on auto-penned pardons and commutations. Who put this out? Ed Martin's department. Oh, it's far worse than we believe. They're still digging into this. So what should we do? What should President Trump do? I know what my opinion is. When this investigation is done, he should refuse to release inmates that received this illegal, if proven, illegal clemency, and rearrest those already released. My humble opinion, we will see where this falls. I will continue to bring you updates on this very important story. People, this is not old news. This will continue to generate into a news story each time an update's given, and we will continue to bring it to you. Because the Biden administration did a lot wrong, didn't it? Chuck Grassley putting this out. Not written well at all. Grassley's got to quit doing talk to text here. So I'm going to attempt to interpret what he wrote here. Today, literally, I released HHS data that exposes the Biden and Harris administration for FOR placing over 11,000 migrant children, with unvetted sponsors. They're in such a hurry to bring migrant children into this country that, according to what Grassley stated, they placed 11,000 migrant children with unvetted sponsors. People they didn't check out. And they didn't conduct home studies on those children for over 79,000 migrant children. That is disturbing, to say the very least. Thankfully, the Trump administration has launched an interagency initiative to finally address these issues and end the abuse. Folks, I read that statistic, although poorly written, is staggering, to say the least. The Trump administration is doing a lot to clean up the mess, aren't they? We don't have crime in D.C. There's no problem. But yet, to date, 465 total arrests. You been to Washington, D.C.? Is it a big area? It's not. 465 total arrests already. You had a crime issue. You have a crime issue. And this administration is doing something about it. This administration is protecting kids. This administration is rooting out the rot that needed to be done a long time ago. This administration is painting the border wall black to make it hot, and the Democrats go crazy. But I digress for a moment, because the headline story is this one. Sort of. Let's be clear. Elon Musk makes major U-turn after promising to upend U.S. politics with third party and goes all in on Trump's successor. You got that? Okay. Elon Musk, let's read what they state. Elon Musk has backtracked on plans to remake U.S. politics by launching a third party and instead wants to use his immense wealth to help J.D. Vance become the next president. According to the Wall Street Journal. My red flag goes up immediately. Everybody's going to take this title and run with it, right? But they won't go to the main article and actually research the main article, which is critical. Of course, we here go to the main article, the Wall Street Journal article. Elon Musk pledged to start a political party. He is already pumping the brakes. Billionaire seeks to maintain ties with J.D. Vance, potential heir to Trump's MAGA political movement. Wow, big story. Big story. Elon Musk is already planning to replace Trump when he leaves, right? With J.D. Vance. If you took this verbatim, which most people do, they don't want to read much deeper than this. Headline, talking point, soundbite. That's it. They're done. Out. TikTok Nation. Not here. So I jump into it. First 3 paragraphs. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a source and quotations from, I'd like, Elon Musk or a direct spokesman for Elon Musk. That's what I'm looking for, because you got to interpret this. The billionaire Elon Musk is quietly pumping the brakes on his plan to start a political party, according to people with knowledge of his plans. Musk has told allies, according to the Wall Street Journal, that he wants to focus his attention on his companies and is reluctant to alienate powerful Republicans by starting a third party that could siphon off GOP voters. Musk's posture marks a shift from earlier last month when he said he would form what he called the American Party to represent U.S. voters who are unhappy with the 2 major political parties. Okay, nothing of any substance in there. So let's go back to the article now. Here's how I analyze things. So you know, which my audience who's been with me for a long time knows how I analyze things. That's why this audience continues to grow. So back to the top. Those were the first 3 paragraphs, right here. First 3 paragraphs. So I go down a little bit further. As he's considering launching a party, blah, 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 Musk and his associates have told people close to him that he is considering using some of his vast financial resources to back Vance if he decides to run for president in 2028. Some of the people said. Who are the people? They're unidentified peoples. Of course they are. Musk spent close to $300 million to support Trump and other Republicans in the 2024 election. Musk allies said he hasn't formally ruled out creating a new party and could change his mind as the midterm elections near. Oh, that is great. You guys are really sticking right on one story. You just left everything open, so no matter what he does, you could say, see, we told you so. Great way to commit. But Musk and his team haven't engaged with many prominent individuals. So far I'm seeing no quotations here at all. Musk and his spokeswoman didn't respond for request for comment. Okay, so where did this story come from? Out of thin air? We need a storyline. Could someone come up with something that seems to make sense about Elon Musk for us, please? Oh, did he happen to say something about J.D. Vance, and maybe we could twist that into something about J.D. Vance being the next president, and maybe Elon Musk and him are going to be friends, and Musk can give him some money, and we could make it a headline story, and then Daily Mail could run with it? I digress. For Vance, keeping Musk on his side could prove to be pivotal for potential presidential ambitions. Well, maybe Vance's team talked about it. So I went down a little bit further. As for comment, a spokesman for Vance pointed to an interview the vice president did this month with the Gateway Pundit, a conservative website. In the interview, Vance said it would be a mistake to break with Trump and the conservative movement. So my hope is that by the time of the midterms, he's kind of back in the fold. Which has nothing to do with Elon Musk endorsing J.D. Vance. That's the only quotation in this entire article that I could find. So before anybody jumps off the cliff to say that Elon Musk just threw his support behind J.D. Vance and given up his aspirations of a third political party, I wanted to just pump the brakes myself and show you the article and the origin that has no quotes nor references. Oh, there it is. It's almost an eerie silence. Stephen Nikala, chair of the Liberation National Committee, said in an interview that he hasn't heard from Musk or his team. He hasn't received word of any serious effort by the billionaire's allies to establish a new party. It's almost an eerie silence. It doesn't seem like anything has been in action, neither at the state level or at the ground level. Once again, nothing referencing his support of J.D. Vance. Sorry. Not sorry. So where does this information come from exactly? You see, this is what dominated the news cycle for years, and they were simply just allowed to get away with it. Nobody ever put up a counterpoint. It just ran. And CNN and MSNBC and all the talking heads and pundits pushed it out, and they caused dissension in the ranks, and this was headline. Elon Musk just gave up on Trump and went with J.D. Vance. That's his replacement plan. And they put up a fancy headline, just like I did. You drive people in, launch plan to replace Trump. Well, yeah, Trump will need to be replaced when Trump is no longer president. Pretty common, simple fact. But that's how they twist. In all reality, without substance. So here, we diffuse it. So people, like Daily Mail, can't qualify a statement like making a major U-turn after promising to upend U.S. politics and going all in on J.D. Vance when Elon Musk himself comes out, mind you, who has now responded to this. Elon Musk reportedly eases off plans for a new political party. Elon Musk says nothing, the Wall Street Journal says, should ever be thought of as true. And there you have it, folks. See, here we do two things. Report the truth and qualify the truth. And I hope you appreciate that. So what say you? Has Elon Musk thrown his full support behind J.D. Vance? I truly hope you don't believe that, because in no way, shape, or form do I believe that's what people are saying. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.